Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night 091 here, coming at you with another Gen 5 Wi-Fi battle. That's right, you guys have heard it correct. We are doing Gen 5 here today. We've got a match here up against Sh1rdixITX, and he's going to lead off here with his Gliscor. I'm going to come in with my Ashley. As you guys know, that this Simipour has a Pitaya berry onto it, and I'm hoping to get like a boost out of the berry. But he decides, you know what, that's too much of a risk. We're going to actually call back the Gliscor, and he decides to send in his Electros, which is Shocker. Big shocker here, of course. I'm going to swap out with Ashley. We're going to come in with Seth, the Snorlax. And of course, as you guys know, Seth, the Snorlax, has a crazy amount of special defense. Now, of course, that Giga Drain is doing a decent amount with the critical hit. However, because of the high special defense and as well as the HP, we're able to survive that like a pro. So he gets a little bit of health there back in regards to his Electros. He's now going to go in with the Volt Switch. Now, Volt Switch, of course, is going to allow him to swap out his Pokemon and come in with a fresh Mon. Now, of course, Seth is holding on here and doing very well. He's going to come in with his Arcanine here next. And I don't know why I said that weird, but I did. He's got the Intimidate. He's going to drop the attack power of Seth. We're coming in with a return. Now, of course, my Snorlax has the max Friendship at 252. He did a decent chunk of damage off onto that Arcanine, and Arcanine down into the yellow zone. We're going to actually swap into Zapdos because I'm fearing the close combat. Now, of course, this Arcanine is not the usual close combating set. However, it does have the Morning Sun, and the Morning Sun is going to regain the health back onto itself. Now, he's going to go in for the extreme speed here. I would have more, predicted maybe like a Flare Blitz of some kind, but he goes in for the extreme speed. Now, this is where he's going to show off. It is a life orbing Arcanine, so of course his attacks are going to be slightly boosted. Now we go in for the attack here. We're actually able to manage to take out the Arcanine, which I'm super pumped about because that was one of the huge threat Pokemon. Next up is Gengar. Shadella is the name. He's going to go in for the hidden power here. Now, of course, at the time of battling, I wasn't too sure what the hidden power would be. Don't normally see too many hidden power Gengars, but it looks like it might be Ice, which is actually just going to one-shot Lawrence. Now, back in comes Seth. Now with Seth the Snorlax, of course, we do have Pursuit. That was the whole idea of me bringing him back in. But he does have Will-O-Wisp. I should have seen or predicted a Will-O-Wisp from the Gengar. It's very common in every generation that Will-O-Wisp is available in, and of course, that burn is just going to drop our attack stat. Now he's going to regain some health there with his Black Sludge. Very interesting set. He does have Focus Blast. Now, of course, I was not thinking about Focus Blast at the time, but I was thinking if I swap into anything, I'm going to get some damage. So I decided I was just going to keep Seth in here. So Seth goes down, Gengar slowly regaining its health back there with the Black Sludge. And I'm going to bring in, again, Ashley the Simipour. Now, as you guys know, Simipour is one of my favorite Pokemon from Generation 5, and it was used on a lot of my Gen 5 Wi-Fi battle teams back in the day, along with Simisage. Love those monkeys. So in comes his Samurott, of course. Ended up going for the Grass Knot here. Now, Grass Knot does a decent amount of work. It is a grass type move onto a water Pokemon. The heavier the Pokemon, the more damage. Now, of course, he's going to go in for the Swords Dance. He's going to boost up his attack stat with his Samurott. And I'm just thinking to myself right now that this Samurott looks pretty cool shiny. I don't think I remember seeing it in this generation shiny or not, but anyways, we finish off the Samurott there with the Grass Knot, and it goes down. Now, of course, that leaves only so many Pokemon remaining on the opposing side. He's coming back in with Shocker. Now, of course, not real big shock here. I know I already made that joke already, but we are going to swap out. We're going to go out to Emma, the Espeon. Now, of course, he's going to go in for the Thunderbolt. Very classic move from the Electros into the Simipour. Now, of course, Emma does take it there. Not very well, actually. down to about half the hit points. We're going to go in for the Calm Mind, hoping to be able to survive the next hit, maybe go for the Morning Sun in the next turn. We are boosting up, of course, our special attack as well as our defenses. He goes in for the fire type move. Of course, as you guys can see, we do survive that. Going in for the Morning Sun, going to try to get some of our HP back here. And we are up above the halfway point. And he's going to go in for that Volt Switch. He's not feeling it. He's like, you know what? I don't think I can do anything to this Espeon. We're going to swap out. So that's what he does. He gets a little bit of chip damage here. Goes out to Dragonius. Now, Dragonius, of course, is a Latios. Now, Latios, of course, coming in, probably not the best time, considering I'm going for the Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball actually does a fair amount of damage, just one-shotting this Latios and critical hitting it. So he's going to be fainting here. Another Pokemon down on our opponent's side. He's going to come in with, you know that Gliscor. Gliscor coming in, getting hit by a Shadow Ball. Now, of course, I don't think this is going to be able to really do much. He's going to go in for the knockoff. Very common play from a Gliscor this generation. Good thing I had that Colbur Berry because it was a super effective hit, and it looks like it's going to be a Toxic Orbing Poison Heal Gliscor set. Now, he's going to go for the Protect here. Now, the Protect, of course, is going to allow him to regain a little bit of health there this turn from the Poison. Hopefully allowing him to survive another hit the next turn. He's going to go in for... we're going to go in for the Hidden Power here. I was kind of hoping that we were going to be able to do a little more with that Hidden Power. I believe it was a fighting, but of course, I was kind of hoping he was going to maybe swap out, fearing the next turn. But unfortunately, we get knocked out here. We're going to have to bring in Ashley once again for the type matchup. He's going to swap out the Gliscor, go back into Shocker. Now at this time, it seems to be a revolving door of Pokemon here, so we're just going to go in for that Ice Beam. Now, of course, Ice Beam making a direct hit into the Electros, and the Hax Gods have basically given me the A-OK to freeze this thing, which I'm pretty pumped about. If you guys know a lot of my battles, I seem to get a lot of hacks on my opponents, which is pretty sweet. We're going to go in for the Nasty Plot here. We're going to raise our attacks up, and that Electros is still frozen solid. If he had gone for like a Flamethrower here, it might have actually unthawed him. So he's actually going to withdraw his Electros, and he's going to go back out to Shadella, the Gengar. Now, of course, Gengar onto the field. My Hydro Pump is going to make a direct contact hit with him. And that is actually going to hopefully one-shot it here, and Gengar is down. So with Gengar now down and out, he brings back in his Shocker, the Electros, and, I'm hoping that he's going to stay frozen here, but unfortunately, I think he thaws out and goes right for that Thunderbolt. Now, of course, Thunderbolt coming in, going to make contact with Ashley and take its health down into a critical area. Nah, it's out. So unfortunately, we do lose our Simipour here, but Ashley did a lot of work here. Basically had our opponent swapping out multiple times. At this time, of course, Electros has the Levitate ability, so why not bring in Isabelle with that Mold Breaker? So we're going to go right in for the Earthquake here, and we are just going to knock this thing out. We've had enough of Electros, and Electros is going down. As you guys know, Isabelle is one of my favorite Dragon-type Pokemon. I've used it in many, many Wi-Fi battles. It's no news to you guys. I'm sure you guys have seen it over the course of my channel. Gliscor coming back in, of course, going right for the Protect, hoping to get a little bit of Poison back, Poison Heal back, but, at this point, I don't think it's really going to help the Gliscor. We're going to go in for the Dragon Dance here with Isabelle, because I know from many, many battles with Zavi back in the day, I'm going to need those boosts in order to take out this defensive wall that is known as Gliscor. He's going to go in for the Earthquake here, not doing much damage, thankfully, and he's still getting his Poison Heal up. He's going in for yet again another Protect. which is basically the standard of a toxic stalling Gliscor here. You basically want to protect as many times as possible in order to get them heals. So we are going to go in for the Outrage here, and that is going to be the play. If you guys are enjoying these Wi-Fi battles from past generations, be sure to give a big thumbs up, post your comments, and if you would like to battle, be sure to jump on into the Snowpine Temple Discord. Cheers, guys!